Good day. Welcome to the show. It is Friday, August 30th. I hope everybody had a good night last night. If you watched my video from for Thursday's picks, you probably did. Um, Especially the online bettors probably had a better shot. But I did okay on Proline too. I got a couple of combo tickets going. Got pretty close on the pools. The kids did pretty good on the pools too. They both got 12 out of 16. Wasn't enough to win, but still better than what they would do during the normal season. And like I said, we didn't know who was playing yesterday, so that's why that's why I got the kids to make the picks. I figured they'd be a lot closer than they would uh, during the regular season. All right, so our results from yesterday, we have got the UCLA Cincinnati game. I called 10 points. It was a 10 points. Cincy played pretty well. The over/under didn't make it because the Bearcats were basically just running the ball up UCLA's gut the whole time, which is okay. I got no problem with that. I like the Bearcats. And UCLA is just basically not ready to go yet. I think their media basically overinflated their team, and basically that's good for us because that always helps change the odds in our favors. And what else we got? We got the Clemson Georgia Tech game. I'm sure everybody's talking about that, and I don't know why, but they are. Okay, so this is the part where I always find the point spreads fishy. And what else we got? Because the point spread was basically 36.5 is what I had. The game ended up at 38, which is, like I said, I always find that they're really close. I've seen games like, especially when you play a team like Alabama against Florida International or something like that, and it's a 42-point spread. It always finishes within that 2 points. So, anyways, let's not get into that too much. The other game, Texas A&M. I had a minus 34 spread. They finished with a minus 34. So depending on which bookie you were at, you could have gotten up or down. I'm not sure. Again, the point spread, I just had to stay off of it. It was just too volatile because you had to depend on Texas State. Yeah, the Aggies let them have a touchdown at the end of the game there. So, yeah, that's like I said. That's why it's always fishy. I would say always take one or the other. Don't go for both. It's very rare do you pick a game that you want to take the spread and the over under. ASU Kent, pretty much the same thing. The point spread, they were calling for 24.5. Spread finished at 23. Over under was 60.5. Game finished at 37. I called the under on that, and then I was. And I think did I call the point spread? I didn't call the point spread on that, but that's okay. Utah Brigham Young. I said that Utah was going to beat them up pretty bad, and they did. And I called for the under. I called for the under and the point spread because it was like that was just like I said. It was one of those rare games, right? And I think that's basically it for the games that count. There was the FIU Tulane game. Another game I kind of stayed away from because it was just really too volatile. But look at that! Look at here we go again. You got the over under was 57.5 and the finish was 56. So I think I called it over. One more field goal, it would have been over. Okay, and that's it I think for yesterday's games. And then we are now going to look at some Proline for Saturday because I don't think I went. Not so much not so much the ones I had on my other video, but more like the ones that show up on my Proline here. So I think there was like six games that showed up, or is there 10? No, 10 games showed up on Proline, and there will be another 5 coming in after today's games are done. So I will be doing yet another video for that. And I will also be doing a third video for Saturday's games for online bettors primarily because I'm just going to go take a quick run down the the list of games that are kind of more notable. So for the proliners, we got start off with the Toledo and Kentucky game. Uh, this one's entirely in your hands, guys, because like I said, I think it's too volatile. Kentucky's fairly good. Toledo, if you had picked this any other year, I definitely would have taken Toledo with that plus 11.5. What else do we got? And the over under on that. I don't trust Toledo to play any better than they're kind of expecting. I don't expect Kentucky to play any worse. So that's why I'm just going to lay off of that. It's just not really worth it for me. Mississippi and Memphis. Um, you have Memphis at minus 4.5, and the over under is at 65.5. The over under too high. I think that's way too high. I don't think Mississippi's going to score very much. Memphis will probably go again most of the scoring on this one. The point spread is a 4.5. I would take Memphis at home. Mississippi hasn't really done anything to help put their team together, and Memphis. I'm going to take this off. It's going to look ridiculous in it. And Memphis is a very, very strong team. Look for them to finish in their conference this year. Finish first or second, anyways. South Carolina, North Carolina. North Carolina is a plus 11.5. They, again, look very weak this year. South Carolina, with Jake Bentley still at the helm. This guy could throw 500 yards in a game, and he did against Clemson. And if he could throw 500 against Clemson, you can definitely throw 500 against North Carolina. So definitely take South Carolina with the 11.5 points. And the minus or the over unders at 62.5. It's capable of getting over for sure. It depends on South Carolina's defense, and I haven't really looked into it, so that was again a crapshoot. You have Virginia Tech and Boston College. You got BC at home plus 4.5. That's pretty good. I would take BC at home. Both teams don't have a reason for me to choose anything else because both of them have not really made very much for moves. BC to 4.5 at home. They beat Virginia Tech last year, pretty much with the same team. Well, maybe not so much the same team, but for whatever Virginia Tech has lost, so has BC. So they're pretty much still where they were matched with each other last year, plus minus the players, right? So I would definitely take BC at home with 4.5 points. I think that's a gift. The 57.5 over, I would stay under on that. They're traditionally low-scoring teams, and they don't really score very many points. I think so when I looked at BC's schedule, they only scored combined over 50 twice last year. So I wouldn't bet over that. And this is 57.5, so I don't see it going over. And final game is the SMU and Arkansas State. SMU is building good. It's still lacking a quarterback, I think. And then Arkansas State also lost a quarterback. This game is touted at 56.5. There's going to be a lot of running. I don't see it going over. I think it's going to be under. And the spread is minus 2.5 on Arkansas State. This game could go either way. If there are any SMU fans out there, I would definitely take them plus the points. And if there's any Wolves out there, Red Wolves out there I would take Arkansas State. Like I said, that one's just too close to call. But I would definitely go with the over/under on that one. That's 56.5. And then I think that's it for today, guys. I think that's those are the games that are on Proline. And I wanted to mention a couple of things about some of the other videos that I made a couple of faux pas on them. Hornibrook is coming over to Florida State, but he is not getting the starting job. Looks like they're going to give that to Blackman. And the Wake Forest, if you had watched that video, is not in New York. Sorry. I don't know. I don't live there. It's actually in North Carolina. And Derek King is actually from Houston, is actually a senior. So watch him to make even more of make more trouble for for Oklahoma, I think that I know Houston's going to cover that spread for sure. I definitely think they're going to cover that spread. Um, but with Derek King, it's going to make this game a lot more interesting. I really, really believe that because um, Oklahoma couldn't stop a cold last year. I mean, I don't see them stopping a high-powered offense like Houston. So, but I'm not calling them to win. I'm just calling it to make it close. So, any of you pro-liners out there, definitely, I would take a tie on that. Throw that in a combo and take a tie. And I think that's it for today. Well, maybe not for today, but for this video. And like I said, I will be giving another video on Saturday's games for online bookers only. And tonight I will shout out. I'll do a video once those remaining 5 games have transferred onto Proline. I will do a quick video tonight. It'll be ready for first thing in the morning. And hopefully we'll make some money that way too. But if you want to know what I picked for today, you can check out one of my other videos. I believe it's listed for Friday. So have a look. Good luck. Like I said, you would have won some money if you listened to me from yesterday. Hopefully that's the same tonight. And I will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And have yourself a great day. Bye for now.